You don't see yourself the way you are. You see yourself through every rejection you never recovered from. And that changes everything. Because one rejection can become a story, and a story repeated long enough becomes identity. That is your first truth. Most people are not living in reality. They are living inside old conclusions. Someone rejected you, ignored you, left you, betrayed you. And instead of saying, they made a choice, you decided, there must be something wrong with me. That is where the damage begins. Not when they leave, not when they reject you, not when they disappoint you. The damage begins when you start believing their decision was proof of your value. And most people never notice that happened. They just carry the story forward. That is your second truth. Many people are still trying to prove one old rejection wrong. Think about that. How many choices are still being made by a person you no longer are? Because rejection doesn't always create pain. Sometimes it creates obsession. The obsession to be chosen, accepted, approved, validated. And suddenly, your entire life starts revolving around proving you are enough. That is the trap. Because no amount of achievement can heal a wound you refuse to see. That is your third truth. You cannot outachieve a belief that you are unworthy. And here is where it gets uncomfortable. Many people think their biggest problem is low confidence. It isn't. The real problem is that they trust rejection more than reality. Someone compliments them, they doubt it. Someone loves them, they question it. Someone believes in them, they feel suspicious. Why? Because rejection became familiar, and familiarity feels true. That is why some people can receive love for 10 years and still feel unwanted. One old rejection has more authority than 1,000 new experiences. That is your fourth truth. People don't see themselves as they are. They see themselves through the eyes of people who never truly saw them. And that is dangerous. Because eventually, you stop asking, is this true? And start asking, how can I prove it? That is why people sabotage relationships, avoid opportunities, hide their talents, stay silent, play small. Not because they are incapable, because deep down, they already accepted a verdict that was never true. And every decision starts serving that verdict. That is the part most people never see. You are not living from reality. You are living from interpretation. And interpretations can be wrong. That is your fifth truth. Some of the beliefs running your life were created by people who no longer matter. Read that again. The voice that limits you, the voice that judges you, the voice that tells you you are not enough, there is a good chance it doesn't even belong to you. So what changes now? You stop asking, why wasn't I enough? And start asking, why did I believe them? Because those are very different questions. One creates shame, the other creates freedom. And freedom begins the moment you stop treating rejection like truth. Because rejection is an event, not an identity. And some of the beliefs controlling your life today were created by people who haven't thought about you in years. Let that sink in. Want more truths like this? Subscribe now. Most people avoid hearing them because most people would rather keep proving old wounds right than question who gave them authority. In the next episode, we'll expose why your comfort zone is quietly destroying your future. This channel isn't here to motivate you. It's here to help you see differently. And people who see things differently don't watch once, they stay.